I don't wanna get up, just not feeling it today. It's too cozy in this bed. Who needs a job anyway? I don't wanna go out. Being human's too hard. Sometimes I think my brain takes this responsibility a little too far. Gotta tell you, it's killing my groove. I gotta tell you, it's killing my groove. I just wanna stay in my house all day, wearing my undies and my alpaca socks. I'm overdue for some fun dance party of one. I got that self-care game on lock. I just wanna stay in my house all day, doing whatever it is that I please. I spend the hours in bliss, just me, myself, and this. Getting busy, loving up on me. Gonna turn off my phone. Too many people messing with my head. They can't find me at home, cause there's no landlines. And if they come knocking, baby, I'll play dead. I gotta tell you, it's killing my groove. I just wanna stay in my house all day, wearing my undies and my alpaca socks. I'm overdue for some fun dance party of one. I got that self-care game on lock. I just wanna stay in my house all day, doing whatever it is that I please. I spend the hours in bliss, just be myself, and this. Getting busy, loving up on me. I gotta tell you, it's killing my groove. I gotta tell you, I just wanna stay in my house all day, wearing my undies and my alpaca socks.
Oh, they're so warm.
I'm overdue for some fun dance party of one. I got that self-care game on lock. Oh, I just wanna stay in my house all day, doing whatever it is that I please. I spend the hours in this, just me, myself, and this. Getting busy, loving up on me. Getting busy, loving up on me. Getting busy, loving up on me.
Good morning, Celebration Center for Spiritual Living, and welcome to another fabulous Sunday morning. It is wonderful to see everyone this morning, to see you if you are online joining us. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are joining us online this morning, I would like to know what your favorite dessert is. What is your favorite dessert? What's y'all's favorite dessert? Ice cream, chocolate mousse, key lime pie, carrot cake, lemon pie. I heard another ice cream, strawberry shortcake, tiramisu, and cheesecake. Woo! Oh my goodness. I would say mine is chocolate chip cookie dough. Sometimes in ice cream form, sometimes it's just chocolate chip cookie dough. Awesome. So if you're joining us online, let us know in the chat. What is your favorite dessert? And speaking of desserts, did you know we're having an ice cream social on July 9th? It is going to be immediately following the service on July 9th. So go ahead, just plan to come to the service at 11. Come in person. We cannot teleport ice cream to you online. I'm sorry. We have not figured out that technology yet. I'm sure somebody somewhere is working on it, though. And the center is going to supply dairy and non-dairy ice cream options. And we invite you to bring your favorite topping to share. So that way we can make these delicious ice cream sundaes. So that is on July 9th. And I heard several people say that ice cream was your favorite dessert. So I expect a good turnout for this. Now then, to back up just a little bit, I just wanted to tie in desserts because now I want ice cream. But if you are joining us for the very first time this morning, an extra special welcome to you. We are so glad that you are here this morning. We would love for you to fill out a guest card, get to know us better, let us get to know you better. That's also a way that you can sign up for our mailing list where you'll get the weekly e-news and everything that we have going on, with the exception of food-based activities like ice cream socials. We are committed to offering everything as a hybrid activity. So if you're joining us online or in person, you will be able to attend every event either online only or hybrid. So sorry, I just completely lost my train of thought. Yes, so please fill out that guest card if you are with us for the first time. Also, if you would like a prayer request this morning, or if you have a prayer request that you would like our ministers and practitioners, as well as our ministry of prayer, to pray with you throughout the week about, you can scan this QR code that's right here next to me. You can also go to our website, celebrationcenter.org, and click on the Request Affirmative Prayer link. All of that is going to take you to a secure form that you can fill out, and that will go to our ministers, practitioners, and ministry of prayer, where we will hold it in the highest confidence and love. If you are joining us online, that means that you already have that share button right there in front of you. So we invite you to share out this Sunday service. Invite your friends and family to join you at church. Tell them they don't even have to put on real pants. They can come in their pajamas to church, and they get to come with you. A couple of more announcements in addition to the ice cream social after the service on the 9th. We also have a Science of Mind 101 class coming up. So if you are new to Science of Mind, if you are new to Celebration Center, if you are curious or just want to know more, anything like that. Perhaps you've been around for a million years, but you could just use a little bit of a refresher on sort of those basic fundamental principles of Science of Mind. We are offering a Science of Mind 101 class from 5:30 to 8:30 on July 5th. It's a Wednesday evening on Zoom. That's 5:30 to 8:30 Eastern Time on Zoom. Anybody and everybody is welcome. There is no cost or registration required associated for the Science of Mind 101. There will be an opportunity to give a love offering, so if you so choose, but there's absolutely no obligation. Just come with your questions, come with all of those things that you've been wondering and never had a chance to ask. Come if you've been here a long time, come if you're brand new. So we look forward to seeing you at SOM 101. And then finally, also in the month of July, we are holding a series of town hall meetings after the service at 12:30. And those are going to be on July 2nd, 9th, and 16th. So go ahead and put those dates in your calendar. Anybody and everybody is welcome to come to those town hall meetings. And if you are a member, we especially encourage you to join us. Those are going to be offered as hybrid meetings, so you can join us online or in person, and we will be setting up our whole Zoom setup so that everybody can speak and listen and be heard and all of the things. And that is going to be July 9th. We'll all eat ice cream together from the end of service till 12:30, and then at 12:30 you can gather up your sundaes and eat and while we have the town hall meeting. So be sure to mark your calendars and join us for those 3 town hall meetings in July. And then finally, today after the service is our sing-along. So once again, hybrid event. You can go to celebrationcenter.org and click on Enter Zoom Events at 12:30. And our amazing music director, Lynn Hollyfield, will be leading that sing-along. There's I was really excited about the song lineup. I'm not going to lie, y'all, when I saw it. So you're going to want to come be a part of that. And we'll have the lyrics for you. If you're on Zoom, we just ask that you stay muted. But you can sing along at the top of your lungs wherever you may be. It's going to be really fun. And then finally, today we are wrapping up our self-care series talking about personalizing the infinite. And then we also have all angles performing, and they can go ahead and start coming up. So we have Lynn Hollyfield, our music director. We also have Jen Fay, Joyce Lindell, and Nancy Newman. Let's give them a round of applause. They sound fabulous this morning. And then our practitioner on platform today is Rich Kurasiewicz. Let's give him a round of applause as well. And now, all angles, y'all have an opening song for us.
All right, we're gonna, I hope you'll join in with us. We're gonna sing the wonderful song, Feeling Good, by Anthony Newley. Here we go. Are you hearing that? Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, a new day, a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on a tree, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, a new day, a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. Dragonfly in the sun, you know what I mean. Butterflies having fun, you know what I mean. Sleep in peace when day is done, that's what I mean. It's a new dawn, a new day, a new life you shine, you know how I feel. Scent of the pine, you know how I feel. Freedom is mine, that's how I feel. It's a new dawn, a new day, a new life. It's a new dawn, a new day, a new life. It's a new dawn, a new day, a new life for me. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Rich Kurasiewicz, and I'm a licensed practitioner here at this center. Please pray this vision together with me. We are celebrating spirit within and knowing the oneness of humanity. Today's reading comes from 365 Signs of Mind by Ernest Holmes for June 20th. Realizing that the spirit within me is God, the living Spirit Almighty, being fully conscious of this divine presence as the sustaining principle of my life, I open my thought to its influx. I open my consciousness to its outpouring. I let that mind be in me that was also in Christ Jesus. That is the mind of truth, the mind of God, carrying with it all the power of the infinite. I know and understand that good alone is real. I know that silently I am drawing into my experience today and every day an ever-increasing measure of truth and beauty, of goodness, of harmony. Everything I do, say, and think is quickened into right action, into productive action, into increased action. My invisible good already exists. My faith, drawing upon the invisible good, causes that which was seen to become visible. All there is mine now. All there ever was or ever can be is mine. I invite you to enter this sacred time in our service with our three-part breath. Breathe in, hold, breathe out. Breathe in, hold, breathe out. Breathe in, hold, breathe out. I invite you to close your eyes or keep them closed or soften your gaze. Feel how you are supported by your chair and the ground beneath your feet as you deepen your breath and bring your awareness to the present moment. Allow everything else, the worries, concerns, to-do lists, and busyness to fall away as you simply relax in the now. Focus on your heart center, the secret place of the Most High within. And so we pray, God is all there is, the power and the presence and the infinite good. God is omnipresent, omniscient, omnipotent, and always available. I am that I am. I am one with God, and my mind is the mind of God. I am one with the power and the presence and spirit that is within me and around me. I am perfect, whole, and complete. And just as I am perfect, whole, and complete, each and every one is perfect, whole, complete, eternal, and immortal. I declare that good, spirit, and the law are ever present and available for each one of us in accordance with our faith, feeling, and conviction. I know that when we speak our word of good for ourselves or anyone else, that the invisible is made visible. I know that the power and presence are always available and work in accordance with the laws of good and cause of and effect. For good overcomes all fear and evil and brings peace, joy, love, harmony, abundance, wholeness, prosperity, and success into our lives. I declare that each and every one claims this good and accepts this good with faith, trust, and belief with gratitude. It is up to us to accept our divinity and to let our light shine. I'm so very grateful for the good that is always available and for the one power and presence that it is the infinite good that surrounds us, for we are all one substance. I am grateful for this truth that sets us free to live our lives full in light and freedom. I'm so grateful for all the blessings that are present and come into our lives as the universe conspires for our good. And I release my word unto the law where it is already known in the mind of God and will not return unto me void. I do give thanks that this is so, and so it is.
Okay, we're going to share a song by Sandy Denny called By the Time It Gets Dark.
Maybe every cloud has a silver lining. Maybe every dog really has its day. And it matters to me just to see you smiling. Why don't we blow all our cares away? Yesterday is gone and will be forgotten. Today is where every new day starts. We can be free as the leaves in autumn. You may be sad, but it will never last. And maybe by the evening we'll be laughing. Just you wait and see all the changes there'll be by the time it gets dark. We could go out walking in the sunshine. Look at all the people out in the street, hurrying away to a business luncheon, waiting for a taxi for aching feet. Light up your face and let's get going. Wanna see a change in those weary eyes. We'll have some fun, take a boat without rowing. Why on earth should life be so serious? And maybe the evening will be laughing. Just you wait and see all the changes there'll be by the time it gets dark. And maybe the evening will be laughing.
Let's give another round of applause to Lynn, Jen, Joyce, and Nancy. Beautiful, ladies, beautiful. So, this is the final week that we are talking about self-care. Are you sad about that? Or are you like, oh, thank God she's been harping on for a month? Maybe a little bit of both. So I am really excited about this final week of self-care because I had an aha moment. So in my group of friends, we talk a lot about how self-care, or what is actually aftercare, is often promoted as self-care in our society. So what that means, so you might be asking, well, what's aftercare? Let's talk about sunburns and sunscreen, shall we? So when you go out in the sun, and I understand not everyone burns, and for those folks that don't, I'm jealous. I was one of those folks growing up, and now I'm not. But if you go out in the sun and you spend a long time out in the sun, then you might get a sunburn, right? And then you would do things to alleviate that sunburn, but the sunburn still happened, right? You might apply aloe, maybe you take an alcohol bath, maybe you use vinegar. Maybe you don't, but I had a sunburn so bad once that I was willing to do anything, and I tried both of those things, and neither one of them helped. The dish made me smell funny. But whatever your home remedy is, that is aftercare. The damage has already been done, right? And yet, there's a way to prevent the sunburn, right? How do you prevent sunburn? Sunscreen! That's right. And sometimes it's more than sunscreen. Sometimes you wear like a sun shirt or a sun hat, or you stay under the umbrella, or you sit in the shade, or, whatever it may be, you take measures to protect your skin against the sun. Not that the sun is a bad thing. The sun is great. It provides light, it provides warmth, it provides vitamin D, it provides all of these amazing things that we need, and yet, if we're out in it too long, we get a sunburn. Now, the thing about sunscreen is that you can't just, I have also learned this lesson, you can't just apply it once and go spend 8 hours in the sun and not get a sunburn. So you might apply sunscreen, you might do some self-care, and then still end up burned and have to do aftercare, right? So I'm seeing some nodding. I think y'all know where I'm headed here, is that there's the sun, being out in the sun is our life. It might be what you do every day. It might be your job. It might be hanging out with family or friends, or, whatever work you do in the world. And it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. We want to be out in the sun. And yet self-care is not only applying sunscreen, it's applying sunscreen as often as your body needs and taking other measures to protect yourself. Now, also, some people, I tend to not burn that badly, even when I make poor decisions about the amount of time that I spend in the sun and the amount of protection that I use. Some people can look at the sun through the window and get sunburned, right? Some people have very fair skin. So those people are going to take more steps to protect themselves. Sometimes you take all of the steps and you still get burned and you still have to apply some aftercare, right? So self-care is the things that we do to set ourselves up for success before life happens, or not before life happens, because self-care is life happening too, but before we go out into the world and do the hard things that our lives require us to do every day. And aftercare is the things that we do to support ourselves if for some reason that damaged us. So if we think about it, what is promoted in our society is aftercare. Now, we have busyness as a status symbol. Everybody wants to be the most busy. Oh, you worked 40 hours? Only 40 hours last week? I worked 50 hours. Oh, you worked 50 hours? I worked 60 hours. I worked 80 hours. I worked 100 hours, right? There's this idea that the more you work, the more productive you are, the more beneficial you are to society, right? We also have this idea, especially in capitalism, that everything that needs to happen needs to be productive in some way. And so we talk about resting as wasting time. We talk about not being productive as being lazy or, whatever it may be. We think that people who are not able to be as productive as others are somehow less than. Now, this is the collective societal we. We might not think that individually here in this room, but in general, those are the messages that are being sent to us. And so it is an act of self-care to have self-care, because what happens is that we have this burnout culture. We have this grind until you just fall over, this hustle life, this no pain, no gain sort of mentality, right? Now there's hashtag all about the hustle, or, hashtag girl boss, or whatever it may be. And all of that, then when it burns us out, we then start getting massages or taking baths or taking a break or ending up sick or, in the hospital with some sort of obscure thing or whatever it may be. And not that we cause that condition to happen. However, we often push ourselves until we burn out and then practice self-care. But what we're actually practicing is aftercare. We're actually putting aloe on the burn, not protecting ourselves from the burn in the first place. So, what does all this have to do with personalizing the infinite? Well, we have some fundamental beliefs here in Science of Mind, right? We have some things that I think we can pretty much agree on if we're in this room. Maybe if you're brand new, you're like, I don't know that I agree with y'all on anything. That's fine. And in Science of Mind, we believe in oneness, right? We believe that there's only one thing going on, this one thing that we call God, we call it source, we call it spirit, we call it infinite, we call it the blackness of infinity, we call it, Ed, what do you call it? What do you call God? You have a really good name for it. Mystery. What? Trees. We call it trees. We call it mystery. We call it curiosity. We call it Earl. We call it Bev. What else do y'all call it? It one step beyond life. We call it by all of these names, and yet the thing that we are talking about is that infinite oneness that our minds can't really grasp because they're finite right now. And so we just say, it's everything. It's the thing. It's the I am that I am, right? It's that God presence, that divinity, that sacredness, that spirit, whatever term you use, it is oneness. And if there's only one thing going on, we're going to go back to the if-thens. You remember if-thens from math? If there's only one thing, then you must be what? That thing. Because there's no other option, right? If there's only one thing, then it's not, all of God and me over here, right? It's all of God and I am that too, because there is only one thing going on. And so really, isn't self-care an act of personalizing the infinite? Isn't self-care an act of sacredness, of expressing divinity, of being one with all that is? And if we look at it that way, doesn't it become even more important to practice self-care, to support ourselves from that burn, to do the best we can to protect and support and love ourselves enough to do what we need to do to be healthy individuals in all areas of our lives, in our mental health, our physical health, our spiritual health, our emotional health, our environmental health, our relationship health, our job health, our life purpose health. All of that is an act of devotion to God, with you being God. And so, the reality is that it is 2023. We are post-ish pandemic, right? And it is a lot of work to be in the world. There is a lot of things that we are expected to do and be and have and all of the stuff. There's a lot of expectations that not only we place upon ourselves, but the rest of the world places upon themselves. And so more than likely, we're going to get sunburned sometimes, right? More than likely, no matter how good your self-care game is, no matter how long you sit in meditation or how many retreats you go on or how many, brunches with mimosas with your besties you have, eventually you might get burned a little bit. And so it's important to be gentle with yourself. I swear, y'all, that's going to be my ministerial catchphrase 45 years from now. I'm still in ministry going, be gentle with yourself, be gentle with yourself, right? We get to be gentle with ourselves. It's okay that we got a little bit of sunburn. It's not the end of the world. It's okay. And the more that we beat ourselves up or make ourselves wrong for getting that sunburn, the harder it is for our body to recover from it. The harder it is for our mind to recover from it, our emotions, our spiritual practice, all of it. Because all of a sudden, we've created a snowball. What maybe started out as just a little bit of, burn, all of a sudden turns into this avalanche. Now I've mixed metaphors real bad because we're talking about sunburn and snow, right? But at the same time, y'all get it, that adding insult to injury, to, use the term, doesn't really help anything. And so we get to be gentle with ourselves, and we get to become aware of that sunburn. We get to notice, maybe we put sunscreen on our whole body and we forgot the top of our feet. Has anybody gotten sunburn only on the top of your feet? I have. Okay, a couple of hands. I remember one time. Now, my father, I did not see his feet until I was 27 years old, because he literally sat up in bed, put his socks and tennis shoes on, and then went about his morning routine of getting dressed and everything. His socks and shoes stayed right there next to the bed, and then he wore them all the way until he sat down in bed to go to sleep, and then he would take them off and get in bed. So it was about 27 when he finally bought a pair of Tevas, and we made a lot of fun of him at the beach because his feet were the color of a sheet of paper. And the rest of him was super dark because he was out in the sun all summer long, right? And the first time that his poor white as a sheet of paper feet went out into the sun, they were then red as a lobster, right? Because they had never been out in the sun. They had never seen the sun before. And the same thing happens. Maybe you're doing pretty good. You're protecting your whole body. Your self-care game is on point. You're doing all of the things. And then the tops of your feet still get burned, or your ears, or that little spot right here where you always forget to put it, or, you just forget your whole back, or you do like this, and then there's the space in the middle of your back where you couldn't reach, right? Because your arms aren't long enough, or whatever it may be. And once again, we get to be gentle with ourselves. We get to look at that sunburn and say, what is mine to do? How can I support myself? What is the aftercare that I can give myself? Do I need aloe, or do I need alcohol, or do I need just lotion, or what is it? Do I need somebody else to support me if it's in a weird spot on my back that I couldn't reach with the sunscreen? How am I going to get the aloe on? Do I need some community care? Do I need some support? What is it that I need to be whole again? And just because we got sunburned a little bit doesn't mean that we stop applying sunscreen the next day, right? It means that we're just a little more careful. And so often what we do as self-care is, as soon as things start tumbling out of control just a little bit, we go, oh, all is lost. And we just drop everything. And then we wonder why our lives fall apart, right? And so instead, and often we do that because we're beating ourselves up. How dare I forget to sunscreen the top of my feet, or the top of my ears, or, the center of my back, or whatever it is. How dare I? And so we just give up. But we would never do that with the sun. We would be more intentional the next day. We would apply the sunscreen more carefully. And so that's what we get to do with self-care. So the thing about self-care is that it is a balance, right? And so I actually have a handout for y'all, and Miriam is going to hand them out. And if you are online, Reverend Ryan is going to drop the link in the chat so that you can print your own copy of this PDF, okay? And I'm also going to put a slide up. You're not going to do this right now. We're just going to look at it together. And then I invite you, your homework for this week is going to be to fill out this chart. So Rev Ryan, after you get the link in the chat, will you pull up the slide? So you don't need to look at it right now. I should have waited on, because now y'all are all going to just read that. But I'm going to say all of the things that are on the paper. So basically, what this paper is asking you to do is to look at how satisfied you are, how well you think your life is running in these 8 key areas: in your finances, your mental health, your physical health, your emotional health, your environmental health. So that is all of the things, your home, your job environment, your church environments, things like that. Maybe how often do you get outside or take a break in nature, or do things that you love to do. Social, which includes all of your relationships. So that's intimate relationships and friendships and family. It's anything that's relational to another person. Your life purpose. So I understand not everyone is working for whatever reason. Maybe you've retired. Maybe you are a stay-at-home person. Maybe you are on disability. Maybe it's whatever it may be. For whatever reason, you are not working. However, everyone has a life purpose. Everyone is here on the planet for a reason. And so how well do you feel like that life purpose is integrated into your life? And then your spiritual health. Are you doing your spiritual practice? Is it working for you? Do you feel good about your relationship with yourself and with God and with life in general? And so you're going to mark on the lines, and it's 1 through 10, with if you feel like you're doing very poorly in an area, you'll, color in 1 or maybe 2 in that little square of the pie. And then just notice all the way around. If you feel like you're doing great, maybe it's an 8, 9, 10, somewhere in there. Maybe you just color in the whole circle because your life is perfect. Absolutely perfect. You're enlightened. You don't even know why you're still here on the planet in a body anymore, because you've just got it all together, right? And you just notice, because life and self-care also requires balance. And so, no, these aren't going to be a perfect circle most of the time. You might hit a perfect circle every once in a while, but usually it's going to be a little jagged around the edges, right? There's going to be some ups and downs. Maybe your physical life's a little lower right now, but your social life is fantastic, or maybe your spiritual life is on point. but you're not really sure about your life purpose right now, or your finances could use a little bit of work. And so the purpose of this tool is to notice where you are out of balance. And so you'll notice on that sheet, and that's true for you online as well, that there are a series of questions that you can just gently answer for yourself. Gently. That's my whole thing. Be gentle with yourself. There is no right or wrong. None of us have it right all of the time. There is no need to beat yourself up. Maybe you're imbalanced, but they're all ones. So it's imbalanced, but it's also not a very happy balance, right? And so you get to begin to look at what are some small, gentle, easy next steps that I can take that will support me in raising this to a 2 or a 3, right? And then don't try to do all 8 at once. Don't try to take on the whole world. Don't go from I'm in tens of thousands of dollars of debt to I expect to be a millionaire by next month. Start small. What's something I can do today? What is, maybe it just is opening all of your mail and seeing what the bills are. Maybe it's talking to an financial advisor. Maybe it's cutting out fast food 3 times a week. Maybe it's just looking at your bank account because you've been too scared to look. Whatever it may be, start small and just work your way forward. Just do whatever the next right step is in front of you. And the more that you can do that, and the more that you can bring your life into balance, the more you will be practicing self-care instead of aftercare. You'll be applying that sunscreen instead of always buying stock in aloe because you're just constantly trying to cover up burns on top of burns and peeling and blisters and all of that. Our goal is to be healthy from the start, not have to correct a mistake. And mistakes happen. It's fine if it does. The goal is to correct fewer mistakes, I guess I should say. Not that there will be no mistakes, but the goal is to have less burns and to take care of ourselves as much as possible. Does that make sense? Awesome. So take that worksheet home. If you're online, I invite you to print it out, or some of y'all are probably more tech savvy than me. You can fill it out online. I don't know how you would do that, but if you can figure that out, by all means, go for it. And just answer those questions and begin to notice, what can I do to support myself? How can I be in relationship with myself in a healthier way? How can I shift from aftercare to self-care? Okay? All right, well, let's say a prayer about that. So I invite everyone to take a deep breath, close your eyes. Notice how you're feeling about this assignment. You don't have to do it. It's absolutely optional, but notice if you get this gut feeling of dread and horror because you don't really want to take stock of where you're at in life because maybe it's not so good right now. Or notice if you're like, I've got this. This is going to be no problem for me. Just notice. Don't make your feelings right or wrong. Just noticing what they are. And then know that because there is only one thing going on, there is only that infinite, absolute, eternal presence, that you are that too. You are the infinite, eternal presence. That is who and what each and every one of us is. And so therefore, we are capable of assessing. We are capable of applying sunscreen. We are capable of setting up umbrellas and then making sure that we sit under them. We are capable of wearing sun hats and sunscreen and sun glasses and all of the things. We are capable of and deserving of having healthy, full lives in every way. And we are deserving of taking care of our occasional sunburns, of applying aloe, of being comfortable, of being gentle with ourselves. And so that is what we do because we are God in action. Every breath that we take is the breath of the divine. Every step that we take is a step of spirit. And so we just allow ourselves to practice self-care, to be gentle with ourselves, to give ourselves grace and love no matter what. And so I am so grateful for this community of people practicing really, really good self-care and really, really good aftercare when necessary. And I am grateful for the self-care that is available to each and every one of us. And so I simply release my word. I let it go. I know it is done. And so it is. So now come on up, all angles, for another song.
Right. We're going to share a cappella tune by the group Mamuse called Hallelujah.
Every time I feel this way, this old familiar singing, I will lay my troubles down by the water, where the river will never run dry. Hallelujah. By and by, I will lay my troubles down by the water, where the river will never run dry. It's been said, and I do believe, as you ask, so shall you receive. So take from me these troubles, bring me sweet release, where the river will never run dry. Hallelujah. I'm gonna let myself be lifted. I'm gonna let myself be lifted. Hallelujah. I'm gonna let myself be lifted. By and by, I will lay my troubles down by the water, where the river will never run dry. There is a river in this heart of hearts, with a knowingness of my highest good. I am willing, I will do my part, where the river will never run dry. Hallelujah. I'm gonna let myself be lifted. I'm gonna let myself be lifted. Hallelujah. I'm gonna let myself be lifted. By and by, I will lay my troubles down by the water, where the river will never run dry. The river will never run dry. This river will never run dry.
Beautiful, beautiful. And so this is the time in our service for our gifts and our offerings. And I just invite you to metaphorically gather up everything that you are bringing to the center and bring it to your heart. Your love, your time, your talent, your treasure, your tithes, your offerings, whatever it may be, knowing that everything that you give to the center is going forward to support that vision of celebrating spirit within and knowing the oneness of humanity. And if you would like to make a physical, tangible donation today, you can do that in a couple of different ways. You can scan this QR code that has popped up right here next to me. You can also go to our website, celebrationcenter.org, and click on the Give button. Both of those are going to take you to our Secure Breeze website where you can donate. Or if you're here in the room, we do have the basket over at the table that you are welcome to give. And now I would like to invite Rich up for an affirmation and prayer.
Join me in saying our offertory affirmation together aloud. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. We now bless all the gifts that are donated now or coming to the center, as we know that they are given from the Spirit and love within, as we practice the law of circulation. Money is energy. We express gratitude for this flow of energy, of good, that is motivated by love and spirit within. These gifts come in to the center and go back out to the community, and then they come back to us multiplied, as good is multiplied. I do give thanks that this is so, and so it is.
Okay, I hope you will join us in singing this closing song, I Love Myself the Way I Am. If you're able and want to, please stand and sing with us. This is by Jai Josephs.
I love myself the way I am. There's nothing I need to change. I'll always be the perfect me. There's nothing to rearrange. I'm beautiful and capable of being the best me I can. And I love myself just the way I am. I love you just the way you are. There's nothing you need to do. When I feel the love inside myself, it's easy to love you. Behind your fears, your rage and tears, I see your shining star. And I love you just the way you are. I love the world the way it is, 'cause I can clearly see that all the things I judge are done by people just like me. So fill the world with peace on earth that only love can bring. I'll help it grow by loving everything. We love ourselves the way we are until we want to grow. The change outside can only come when deep inside we know we're beautiful and capable of being the best we can. So let's love ourselves the best way that we can. Let's love ourselves the best way that we can.
Let's give them one more round of applause for all Anglos. And let's give a round of applause to Rev Ryan, who's in the back pulling double duty this morning. They are all over the place. Yes.
I've got two announcements. First is I'm just going to be staying away from everybody because I've got COVID. Although I think I'm over by giving myself one more day of isolation. Second, the big one, today, Duke Heights.
Oh, today is Duke Height's birthday. So Duke Height, we are in Height Hall right now. This hall is named after Duke Height because he was the heart and soul of the center for many years in so many ways. In fact, the desk that Charlene now uses is still called Duke's desk. I don't know that she's ever going to get to call it her own desk. He did so much for this community for many, 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 many decades, really. And so, yes, let's sing happy birthday to Duke. Oh.
Okay, what's a good key for okay, let's try.
I'm throwing Lynn on the spot here.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. There's no guitar. Happy birthday, everybody.
It's not plugged in.
Happy birthday to you. Let's do it again. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Duke. Happy birthday to you.
Yay, Duke. We love you, Duke. And anytime anything happens in the center, when it's just me and a door slams or a noise happens, I know that it's Duke checking up on me to make sure I'm taking a good care of his center. Oh, this is the 50th anniversary for Joyce of Science of Mind. Wow. Well done, Joyce. Who else has a birthday or an anniversary? Anyone? Not like in the month of June, not just today specifically. Yes, Lynn. Wedding anniversary.
When I met my husband, so 36 years.
36 years wedding anniversary and 38 years of knowing her husband. Yay! Anyone else? Any birthdays or anniversaries in June? Okay. All right. Well, with that, as a reminder, today is our sing-along at 12:30. You have about 33 minutes once we get done with our affirmation to get yourself something to eat. Join us online, celebrationcenter.org, enter Zoom events, or here in the room. And also, next week, mark your calendar for that town hall meeting at 12:30, hybrid on Zoom and in person. And so now I invite you to repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening in me right now. I honor my own needs and desires. I allow myself to experience pleasure every day. I practice radical self-care and community care. I am spirit in action. And so it is.